Thank you, brother.
All right. You good? You hot? You hot?
Am I hot?
I'm telling you.
Oh.
Am I hot?
All right, and we are back. Welcome back. Welcome back. So before we cut out, I had a little question. Was there a certain price or a cap or a cost for how much a date should be?
Okay, so no, I don't think there is a cap for a date, but there's casual dates and then there's date dates. So casual date is more so like, you taking a walk in the park, maybe you might find a time to, go out really quick for a little light drink or something like that. That's more of a casual thing. But like a date is more like, hey, I'm gonna come and pick you up at 7 o'clock.
Right.
I plan this at this place and be ready, be dressed. You know what I'm saying? Wear heels. That's a date.
So, do you have a minimum though? Is it like a date minimum? Like, oh, you had me get dressed up, and this is where you bring me money? Like,
see, if you got me in heels,
Right. You ain't heels for Olive Garden. Olive Garden is more flats.
listen, do not bring me to an event.
Sweats at Olive Garden.
Listen, do not bring me to a place where I should be wearing sandals and I wore heels and you told me to dress up.
Right.
That's not the vibe.
Okay.
Because I'm underneath the impression that this is a wine and dine kind of a thing. I need to be, up to par. You know what I'm saying? That's not it. I
so
shouldn't be wearing
technically,
heels.
it's not an amount. It's a standard.
It's more of a standard. It's definitely more of a standard. Yes, like there's ways that there's dress to attire.
got you.
Dress to
Dating
attire.
is easy, bro. If you don't, so when I was dating, I used to take people on dates on Groupon shit.
Well, it depends on what you're doing.
Thank you, because that's a turn on. I'm telling you, I remember during the pandemic,
For a massage,
I used to take bitches
like-
paddleboarding.
Yeah, massage. Because they don't know you pay with the Groupon on the massage.
I used to take bitches paddleboarding.
Okay. That was a cheat.
That was a casual date.
Two for 20 for 2 hours. And she ain't never been paddleboarding. Now I'm like, she just living her motherfucking life.
Showing us something different, right?
Yeah, she ain't never been on no paddleboarding date.
Hey, you can go every day except Saturday.
Every day except Saturday, Sunday.
The first thing is, I used to take so many bitches paddleboarding. The ladies like,
Oh, yeah? She walk in and be like, do you want your regular board, Joey? Do you want your normal board and paddle?
she was like, one girl was like, why she didn't give you a life vest? I like, oh, she already.
Oh, she know I know that I do this.
She know I know rules.
I used to work her.
I'm working here. I'm borderline manager.
So let me ask y'all this, because I heard you say this. You said dating was easy. I think dating is easy when she like you.
No, tell me.
You know what I'm saying, though?
When I say
think
I'm
the
good
more-
at it,
Uh-huh.
I'm good. I could muster up a good
But I
date
think
for
the
you.
more a woman likes you, the less you got to do. You know what I'm saying? Like,
How much?
I don't think that.
I do.
I think you know what it is. You have to maintain the
much what?
relationship.
The
You have to
effort,
keep-
yeah,
Yes, you have
yeah.
to keep that up. Like dates are required. You know what I'm saying? Telling your woman that she's beautiful is required. Like you can't just say that in the beginning and then you get into the relationship and then it's different.
Don't
When I was-
introduce me to a vibe you
but
can't.
when I was with my kids, when I was with my kids, mom, we had two small kids.
Hey, I mean,
Go ahead, ball.
Now I said when I was with my kids, mom, we had two small kids, and every Wednesday night was date night. We would be able to get a sitter. We would get dressed up. We would find a restaurant. It was her job to write freaky night. Freaky night. Even when she was on that thing, we was like, we still gonna do it. We still gonna get outside. We just without the freaky tonight. You know what I'm saying? But it was Wednesday. It was hump day, baby. No cap though. I kept that going. Like you said, don't introduce me to a vibe you can't maintain. At least once a week was always date night. You know what I'm saying? And
It's
I
good
think
to
people
court
forget
your,
about that.
It's good to keep courting your partner because
Even after courting.
to be honest, it's fun because
But is there a cost
is it what you mean?
for a date?
I think the cost of what is
As you're courting,
Oh,
as
is
you're
it a
taking
cost?
your person out,
No,
are
it's-
you putting a cap on the amount that you're spending?
the $200 date rule
okay, because
question.
I'm
Because I
You're
done
capping it. You capping it at
I done
$200.
spent a couple dollars to a couple $1,000 on a first date before.
Couple what?
Couple thousand
Like a
dollars.
couple thousand on a first date.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But see,
we had never
but that's what I'm saying. If you do that on the first date, can you maintain that?
at the time.
But why would you introduce a woman to something that?
first date,
Yeah, on the first date, you taking her. She got bottles of wine and shit and all shit. You didn't spend $1,200.
I didn't.
on it. But my point is, niggas who do that usually go broke.
Like
And then guess what? They can't get a woman because they broke. See the irony in that?
I feel
You
that.
didn't spend all your money trying to impress women that you didn't ran dry. Your well is run dry. Now you can't get one
Well, that wasn't the case.
because they
with
didn't
me.
use it. They didn't use drugs. You know what I'm saying? Because if you think about it,
Till you
when a
use
woman
one,
really like you. And you be like, hey, let's go take a walk on the beach. If she actually interested in you,
She'll
she's
do
gonna be
it.
like, yeah, let's do that.
Absolutely.
But if she just like, nah,
You know what
I ain't
Marissa's
feeling
first
that.
date was? My apartment hot tub. I had just got a bottle of wine.
You just came to the crib like that, G?
We had been talking for months on the
That makes
phone
sense, yeah.
and FaceTiming and
He
like.
wasn't like come to my house. He was like,
And it was quarantine too. Yeah, I get that.
So I met. I'm like coming on me, but I could either go in the house before we went to the hot tub.
Yeah, she had
yeah.
never been inside my house. So
That
like,
makes sense.
it's like I said, it's the apartment complex hot tub. It wasn't like in my house hot tub. So it's like she still has the comfortability. Like, yeah, you may know where my apartment at, but you're out and you're safe. Everybody can see you. Everybody can see me.
So it was a free date.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And I broke. And I was like, I was transparent.
But you know what's
I
crazy?
told her I was broke.
According to what they saying out here, if you broke, you're not even supposed to be dating.
Well, first of all, fuck them. Because to be honest, I get the best dick when I'm broke.
Because
This dick
you
be
can't
dicking
take
when
care
I'm
of her
broke.
and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? You shouldn't even be dating.
I'm gonna fuck you to sleep when I'm broke. Now, when I'm getting a little money in my pocket, I might take a night off. I might be like, I paid the light bill. Hey. But it's different. You gotta think, when you need somewhere to stay, you fucking.
Oh yeah.
You make me harder than a bitch.
Get these shelter strokes.
She can wake you up. She can wake you up out your sleep. You ready to fuck. You ready to fuck for real. You niggas ain't never had to fuck for some rent.
When you fucking for shelter, it's
And it's cold. It get cold. It get global warming fucking everything up.
you gonna get what you gonna get.
Cause
What
I'm
you
gonna
need.
fuck the shit out you for a
Oh, you gonna get what you
time.
need. Let me say this though. We're gonna talk about this before we get out of here tonight, because this has been a great conversation, guys. But I want to talk about the trauma part of it. Let's talk about
You want me to cry
post-trauma
so bad.
dating and things of that nature. I want to talk about this. I'm gonna give y'all some scenarios. You go on these dates, no matter what race or gender you are. We ain't talking about interracial relationships either. I want to talk about interracial dating as well. I don't know if we're gonna dip into that. I don't know if we got that much time, but
Sick Negro.
look at the Black Panther was like, nigga, what? He made the Dr. Umar
Nah,
face.
I'm dating white women in my life.
I'm from Florida. We did a lot of white.
Yeah, it's
I do want to talk about.
Y'all white women.
I want to talk about the trauma that you guys carry. Not you guys. We all somewhat carry from person to person. When you get out of a relationship, because I used to have this thing where I was like, I think you need to be healing at least a fifth of the time that you was in something. So if you was with somebody for 5 months, you need to take a month off. You know what I'm saying? And just kind of work on it and get yourself back right. That's a fifth, right? 5 months to 1 month? Okay, I was right. All right, cool.
math was good.
Math was mathing. All right? So if it was 10 months, 2 months. You know what I'm saying? Something like that. I think that's a healthy time to kind of get yourself back where you need to be. That's just personally for me. That's
real.
my time.
That's maturity,
I
like
think
you
it
say.
depends.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I honestly feel like it depends, because depending on the trauma
Yeah, the
that
trauma.
you experienced,
Yeah, that's true.
and then are you actually doing work, or are you just I'm
Being by myself.
by myself right now, and
Yeah.
you're just in this.
I'm just gonna eat a bunch of
Are
booties
you
till I feel
actually-
better.
Right? Are you
No
actually
booties. No eating booties.
Are you actually doing the work to get to where you need to be
Yeah.
back on your feet? Because you can say, oh yeah, well I was dating this person for 5 months, so I'm gonna take a month off or 2 months or whatever, and just be in my own little bubble. But in that 2 months, what are you doing?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If you actually went through some trauma in this relationship, what are you doing to
Not recycle it.
right
Yeah.
to heal while you are going through your time alone, your alone time or whatever? So I think that's more important.
That's a
than
great point.
The actual time limit is what you're doing in that time.
You got to. The first time in my life, I took the time to heal from like a relationship that's right before I met Marissa. Like when
So you was healthy.
Yeah, by the time I got to Marissa, I was like completely okay.
You was healthy, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like every other time I just knew, like as I was getting older, as soon as I get out of a relationship, I jump into something different. I start talking to somebody else or some shit like that. But it was more so like I had met Marissa. Like any other time I would have dated. So me and Marissa would have been together probably way a lot sooner.
Right.
But it was like I was like, no, let me get myself together because I don't want they'll be bringing like traumas that I've suffered in the previous relationship to her. Yeah, because I always believe in don't whoop me for something somebody else did. You feel me? It's like for real, you know what I'm saying? You gotta heal a little bit. You may not be completely like change or heal,
but you gotta be able to be
have a concept.
Oh no, I was just gonna talk about you talking about the healing part of it. The process of that is like you need to understand coming into this shit that hurt people. And that ain't just a common phrase. That shit really do hold validity, dog. Like hurt people really do drag that shit. That post trauma that you got, you really gonna infect somebody else with that shit. Like they call it STDs, like sexually transmitted demons and shit like that. That shit real as fuck. You know what I'm saying? You with a woman that got all this shit going on in her life, but she pretty and you fucking a raw nigga. Guess what? Them problems gonna get heavy.
Facts.
You can't be heavy on people. Right?
I just now got my
So that's why it's called intercourse.
Right.
But y'all not ready for that conversation.
Not at all. But you gotta be careful too. You gotta take care of yourself. You know what I'm saying? Even men, I be telling men like, hey bro, you just can't be laying down with anything. You know what I'm saying? Because that shit gonna lay on you.
Yeah.
And I found out personally by doing the work, like Bella was saying, I took some time off and I had to think about it, and I realized I was heavy on people. One thing I had to do was take accountability, and that's what we're gonna talk about too, taking self-awareness. And that's attached to this. So that was the next topic, was self-awareness. So being self-aware, I had to say to myself, I'm actually heavy on people. You know what I'm saying? I had to be self-aware and say to myself, God damn, bro, I ain't even see it like that. I'm really heavy on people. And when I got problems, I don't know how to hide shit in my life. I am a if I'm mad, everybody know I'm mad. I ain't no liar. I ain't never been no liar. My body language don't lie. My emotions don't lie. I'm a passionate nigga like that. So when I'm fucked up, I feel fucked up. I look fucked up. It ain't nothing I can do to hide it. So I know that about me. So when I'm on somebody and somebody love me, guess what? They gotta take on that. Why would I put somebody through that? You know what I'm saying? So being self-aware is extremely important. So are we all self-aware in this motherfucker yet or what?
I am. I tell.
That's why the dating pool got shit in it.
Because people are not self-aware?
I'm pretty self-aware when like I said earlier, I tell my fiance, like, speak your mind. If it's something you don't like, say it. I don't care if you think I'm gonna be mad or you trying to avoid confrontation or any of those things. Don't let me run over you, because I know personally I can be a manipulator. I could really make you change your mind and a quickness, and I know that about myself.
Okay.
So it's like I'm tired of all my relationships failing, and so I like, okay, cool. With Marissa, speak your mind, bro. I'm gonna be mad at what you say. I'm not gonna like it.
I'm gonna have to deal with it.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, say it, because I don't want you resenting me because you feel like, one, you gotta walk on eggshells, or two, you just feel like you just can't. I'm gonna try to change your mind or I'm not listening. That's just like who I am, and I am working on it. And I tell you, I do work on those type of things. Like sometimes I just like shut up and don't say nothing because I know that I'm probably wrong, but what I'm about to say is make you change your mind. You know, like, that you wrong. And I had to work on that shit because I was used to being in like very toxic relationships where we doing that shit to each other. Yeah. And it was kind of awkward to be with someone that's not doing it.
It become a game.
Yeah. And then like you start to notice how toxic you are when you with someone, hopefully, when you with someone that's not toxic. You know what I'm saying? And when I'm like used to like, reason why I always used to have to try to change somebody's mind and I had to become manipulative is because like I was used to being with women that were maybe like physically attracted to me and things like that, but I couldn't get them to be the type of woman that I wanted in my life, and I was trying to change them into something that I didn't that I wanted and they didn't want to be. And then like I'm getting Marissa, and it's like I don't have to change her to be something that I want. She's already that, but it's still certain things where it's like natural for me to like be a little manipulative, and I check myself sometimes. It be sometimes I'm like, no, I'm sorry, I was being a little manipulative.
They call it gaslighting now.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
I don't gaslight her though.
I see what you're saying. So Nate, we want to get to you on this question as well. It's a double question. I want to know about your self-awareness with yourself, as far as like, have you identified what it is that you want and you attract and what you're giving out? And I also want to know how you feel about the trauma that you have faced in your dating experience and how you don't want to take that forward.
Ooh, I mean, I think I'm pretty aware of the things that I give out. I will say I haven't yet learned exactly how to conquer those things. You know what I'm saying? I'm still in the learning process of how to maneuver those things and make those into greater things.
Self-awareness.
Yeah, very, very much. But there are things that I have noticed that, I was projecting onto other people from my past relationships, like the trust issues or, the being fearful how the relationship could turn out because I haven't always had the greatest relationships. You know what I mean? So, I'm losing the question here just a little bit.
Okay, basically
Are you self-aware?
What you had in that weed? It wasn't amnesia weed?
No, it was good. It was really calming. And see how calm we all are? But no, like, it was basically the question just comes back to self-awareness and also trauma. Like, have you faced traumas in dating that you feel like you haven't let go or you have worked on? Like, I just want to know the details of your traumas.
I guess I haven't been able to completely get past all of my trauma. You know what I'm saying? I guess just a little snippet. Abusive relationships have become, a thing that I did have to go through, and that was a lot for me to endure. So I haven't quite been able to get over that, I guess, completely.
Yeah.
It's really hard to, not think back on the other things that I guess I could have changed, but I have learned that, some of the things that I did in that relationship I should not have done, or I could have made it a better way of communicating or something like that. So I have learned lessons. And
identify signs and shit.
Exactly. I've been able to realize, like, hey, like, that's not okay to just go off like that and just, go rah. You got to be able to sit there and listen and come calmly so that person can understand you.
Yeah.
That has been a process. Very much. Your second question.
It was you kind of got it on both of them, actually. One was about trauma. One was about trauma and one was about self-awareness, and you kind of hit on both of them about yourself. And I wanted to just piggyback and just let you know that when it comes to abusiveness, whether it's physical, mental, or emotional, which is sometimes the worst one, we have to be very, very understanding of what happened to us, stop, dissect it, that way it can't keep happening.
Exactly.
Because I had made a comment last week about how it's funny how you find women in domestic violence situations several different times.
A reoccurrence.
Like, how are you attracting these niggas that want to put their hands on you, and it's because they're doing something.
You see what it is that they didn't get something somewhere.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They're missing something somewhere. You see, this is like a very, very personal thing, but my dad wasn't always around to teach me all the, the nitty gritties and stuff like that.
It's understandable.
So, you lose, oh no, I'm good. But well, no, like this is some realness, you know what I'm saying? Like this is some real personal stuff. This is not something I really talk about with everybody unless I'm cool with them.
Yeah.
So, that does take a toll, not having your dad there. You don't learn all the things. It's kind of like you're out there like a fish, and you got to learn it by yourself. And you have to go through the traumatic situations to learn, like, hey, that's not okay. And then you have to learn to love yourself. You know what I mean? You have to relearn to love yourself because you didn't receive that love from the person who was supposed to love you. So it plays in it's a cycle. It is a cycle, and it's a long freaking battle, man. But as long as you're determined to get better and use that energy into something that could be greater, it could be anything.
The fact that you identified that is bigger.
At 24,
that's bigger than anything.
24 is very important.
Yeah,
I didn't get that until I was 30.
Yeah, I mean, I've been through a lot of stuff, man. I've been through enough stuff to make me feel old.
But why you look at me and say, "Oh, that"? I'm okay with that. Listen, first of all, let me be clear. When y'all make the 40-year-old jokes, it don't bother me at all. I'm very proud of being 40.
We was there on your birthday. We literally been
we
saying
turned up.
it.
Don't act like that. But don't act like
been saying it since you turned 40.
Hey, look, I said it all in Vegas too. I'm 40. People like, "Oh shit, you 40?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm 40."
Hey, let me tell you, I know they changing the subject, but Vegas ball is different. Vegas ball is totally different. He made friends with every staff member in every hotel that he encountered. I had my homegirl,
personal bartender in my hotel.
my homegirl, a bartender.
Yeah, my homegirl.
She gonna get us double shots for $4.50. I'm like, when did you meet her? Oh, I checked in yesterday. 2 weeks ago, I was here. This nigga the only nigga that been on vacation 5 days before everybody else got here.
Liked in my
5 days after everybody left.
She had liked in my cologne. So. But no, on some serious shit, I want to get to Bella on this because Bella, I know you're gonna give me a gem or two. Have you worked on this self-awareness thing?
No.
Have you been honest with yourself, you believe, and have you done, like you was talking about doing the work, have you done the work to get rid of the trauma from your past dating experiences? Like, I want you to dial in on this. I'm really looking forward to hearing what you guys say.
So let me start with the self-awareness. So I'll have to say, honestly, if I'm being completely honest, me becoming self-aware really started probably in the last 2 years. Just becoming completely self-aware in all areas of my life, not just in intimate relationships, but even in platonic relationships or even in familial relationships. I just became self-aware because you do see other people that you're close to. You know, they say birds of a feather flock together and different things like that, and you just start to see you know, the people that you surround yourself with, how your family moves, how they talk to each other, how they react to certain situations. My father, I noticed just last year that we were so much alike in not some good ways. And so I had to check myself, and you have to look at yourself. And so I can say that I definitely can say confidently that I am self-aware. I definitely canvas where I'm at when it comes to situations, how I talk to people. I'm aware. I think about stuff prior to doing it because I know that you know, everything has a reaction. Every action has a reaction.
Big
So I make sure that I am self-aware. But as far as past traumas go, I think we all have past traumas, whether they are small to someone else or not. I think everyone has past trauma. So definitely I have past traumas that I'm still currently healing from. You know what I'm saying?
That self-awareness.
Yeah, that I'm still currently healing from. Those are things I feel like when it comes to relationships, deep relationships where you've opened yourself up to someone else, or you've become intimate with somebody. Those type of relationships take a piece of you. They break you open. They change you in certain ways, and they shift you and they mold you. And if you are not even aware of that in those situations, then you can't be aware of the trauma that you went through when you come out of that situation. So I've definitely been in situations in my past relationships that have changed the woman that I am.
Matured you?
Yeah, matured me.
Humbled you?
Scarred me. Humbled
all
me.
that. That's why you
bite. Mentally messed me up so that I had to bounce back from it. You know what I'm saying? And so I think it's so important just to take, like you said, that time. But in that time to really look at yourself. What Michael say? Look at the man in the mirror. You need to look at yourself.
Facts.
You gotta be with somebody. Oh, my bad.
And you have to know yourself enough to know, okay, where am I at right now?
Yeah.
Where am I at right now? Let me canvas. And what did this relationship do to me that has taken me out of where I was, the person that I was, who I was then, who I am now, and what happened in between. And so, I'm definitely self-aware, and I'm definitely still working and healing through past traumas. But you know, that's a beautiful thing.
You got this, Queen.
That's a beautiful
Let me
thing.
tell you this.
Yeah.
I really was saying to myself, I'm looking forward to what you got to say, because when you speak, you sound self-aware. You know what I'm saying? Like when you say, I don't want this, I want this for myself, I want this. If it don't work like this, I'm gonna do this. You do the shit you say you gonna do. And as an outsider looking in, I'm gonna give you your props. Like that's why I said I want to hear what you got to say that, because a lot of people would say, yeah, I'm like this, I'm like that, and then you seeing me be like, I don't know about that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't really know about that shit. My mom is one of them people. Like she one of them people when she speaks and she say she did this and do this and you can see it. You ain't got to guess. Like that shit is right there, and I see that in you. I see that you are doing the work. I see that you are self-aware of things, that you honest about yourself. And I think if we all was like that, we all be in a fucking better place, man. So congratulations to you on that, man. For real, for being healthy.
Definitely. So
So before we get out of here, we almost out. I got one more thing I want to go across the room. We're going to end on a positive note. So through the dating process and through everything else, it leads to a relationship. If you're not dating to marry, then you're dating for whatever you're dating for. Ain't nobody got no judgments to that. You know what I'm saying? You could be dating for help. You could be dating for sex. You could be dating for trips. Who cares, man? It's your dating life. Do what you want to do. But I want to know from the panel, how do you know you're in a good relationship? The question going around now is, what are the signs that you're doing the right things in dating? You're in a good relationship. This is gonna be the last question before we get out of here. So I want to start. Who wants this one real quick? How do you know that you're in a good relationship? You're in a good thing. Joy, you want to go?
Yeah.
Take it off.
I realized I was in a good relationship when she made me a better friend.
There we go. I like that.
When I started like hitting up my homeboys that I probably like fell out with or some shit, I'm like, look, hey bro, we ain't necessarily gotta talk about who was wrong and what was done wrong, but I know that I did something wrong and I apologize, bro. And the reason why I say she made me a better friend was because I just watch how much of a caring person she is.
Yeah, man.
And with her friends and her family, and even with me, and it makes me be like, shit, I probably should start being like that too.
That is a sign of leadership.
Mm-hmm. And most of all my relationships always had like a negative undertone. You don't seen it, like if she mad, I'm having a horrible fucking day.
Yeah.
Like it just. Nothing positive is fucking going on with me mentally. And when I started to also feel like mentally safe, I'm always gonna feel physically safe because I get down when I get down. You feel me?
Scrap up.
You feel me? But like mentally safe where it's like I could come home and be like, babe, I lost it all today.
And everything's gonna be okay.
And she gonna tell me everything's gonna be okay.
Facts.
It may not be okay, but she's gonna make me feel like, hey, get up, you can do that shit, and you can get it right, and shit like that, like me having a whole soul, something like that is important to me, because I done had to start my life over a couple times, and I know how hard it is to have to pick your life up and start doing something totally different, and I need to know that I need to know that if I lose it all today, you willing to start it back up with me rather than leave me out here by myself. And once I started to realize she had those characteristics in her and she was loyal, I could work through anything else.
Man, I appreciate you saying that as a single man, because it's important to feel safe, and I believe it, and I die on that hill. Nay, when you dating, you single right now?
It's complicated.
It's complicated.
Somebody for the text her right now. You better, girl. You better.
That nigga said, "Don't bring your complicated ass home." Nah,
you know she Ice Spice cousin.
no, but seriously, but seriously, though, I'm gonna ask
Oh my god.
but on some serious note, I'm gonna ask you though, how do you know that your situation is going well? Like, what are the signs that you're in a good situation?
I mean, I guess the making me feel acknowledged. I guess if I'm explaining something to you and you hear me and you change those things, that's, I guess, is what makes me feel like I'm in a better relationship, because if that person doesn't care about you, they're not going to do those things to make you feel better about a situation, or do things in a different way to accommodate the both of us. So I think that would be a big thing for me, I guess, at this now. Would have experienced. There might be different experiences for other people, but at least for now, that is like my main thing. That's very big for me. The listening to me, the being able to accommodate my emotions. You know what I'm saying? Like, and when I'm talking to you and I'm expressing something to you, it's because it's making me feel some type of way, or it hurt me or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And you acknowledging that and you taking that in and then taking the process to change that. I love that. You know what I'm saying? I love that.
Y'all both talking love
I love that.
Y'all both talking love language right now. Before we get out of here, I gotta hear from the OG. The real OG. How do you know when the marriage? How do you know when the marriage is going well? Because I know marriages have ups and downs. So I don't want to get in no negative shit. We get out here on a positive note. How do you know whether the signs that the marriage is going well?
I just say this, for our situation, being together 18 years, focus on each other's happiness. Yeah. When you're selfless in a relationship, that's how you know. Like when you got my wife focuses on what makes me happy. I focus on what makes her happy. It's like, I want to do this for you. She's like, I want to do this for you. And I want to do this for you. No, you do it for you. It's a contest to make each other happy. And the kids just fall into place. So that's the biggest thing. Like, I know that certain things she knows me well enough to know what certain things going to make me mad and make me unhappy. She don't do those things, and I don't do the same thing to her. So if I focus on that, the kids end up falling into place, man. And everybody got their role. Like the way she got her ring, I'll just say this: the ring was, she cooked. Think about it, I'm a 20-year-old kid. And we didn't go on the first date. She cooked, blew my goddamn mind. She cooked, and but like I said, that's kind of rolls back around to like what you plan to spend on the first date, because it wasn't necessarily our real first date. I was willing to spend anything. She cooked. I was paying for the meal, And then she brought a tear to my eye, y'all. I say it on national TV. She pulled a goddamn coupon out when we went on a date. I said, girl, I got it on one. Get you a ring.
He said, I got that on one me right away.
Get you a ring. He said, I got your military discipline. Get you a goddamn ring.
Shout out to that. Shout out to that. We appreciate that outlook.
Hey,
And so
but,
far,
hold on, before you switch.
great answers.
I had an older lady tell me one time. She said love is a responsibility, and she said be with someone that takes your love, the way you want to be loved as a responsibility. So it kind of like backs off what you're saying.
Yeah.
I like that a lot. 100%. Bella, you want to get in on this before we get out of here? What are the signs that you are doing it right or it's happening right? You know what I'm saying? Whatever situation it is.
I would have to say the signs of being in a good relationship. I think on those days that you don't feel the best, it's still healthy.
I like that.
Because I think everybody is always like, well, if you make me feel good, and if I feel this way about it, and feelings are fleeting. So on those days where I'm not feeling even you,
Yeah.
you know, because those is gonna come.
Yeah, they are.
Ever.
It's still healthy.
Yeah.
We're not arguing. We're not. It's still comfortable. We
Arguing
still
with
comfortable.
boundaries.
Right? No. I mean,
You gotta have boundaries.
you can have disagreements, but not an argument.
It's
We're
a
not
difference.
right?
Yeah, but
When I say with boundaries, you can't be calling me bitch ass niggas.
That's how I
out the door
feel.
right now.
As far as that goes, on those days where I don't feel my best or your best or we not, it's just another day. It's still healthy. That's what I say.
You know, Bella, I pray you find a man that you desire and tell that nigga if he get active, we could beat Buddy up.
if he do your ass dirty, we'll wipe his ass out like detergent. You know what I'm
Because
saying?
she cried at my engagement. I really got to swing with you,
got
bro.
respect for that.
I got to swing with you, bro.
Before we get out of here, I will just give y'all this, man. The signs that I know something is going well is when it's easy. I keep hearing that relationships are hard, relationships are work, and all this other shit. And in my eyes, when it's easy, that's when it's right. Like you said, when you put somebody else's care in front of your own, like it just seems easy. I don't know. It's some people.
It ain't always gonna be easy.
It ain't always
but
gonna
most
be
of the
easy.
time-
But when it's
Most
you
of
know
the time
what I'm
it
saying?
should be easy.
When it just feels natural and it feels like it's flowing and they not getting on your nerves. I think at my age, I just want somebody not get on my nerves. You know what I'm
They
saying?
gonna get on your nerves, bro.
But that's what I'm saying. They not.
Women do that.
Hold on, but you see what you just said? See how you said they're going to get on your nerves? No, they're not.
Yes, they is.
No, they're not. See what I'm saying?
Eventually, yes, they is.
But you're not listening to what I'm saying. Everybody ain't gonna get on your
This
nerves.
is his opinion.
This is my opinion. I just feel like there's
this is
somebody,
science.
but
It's
this
okay.
but it's somebody that's gonna come along
It's all right.
and it's gonna get hard. That don't mean that I'm fed up with you. You get what I'm saying? To get fed up with somebody mean you ready to go.
I ain't say fed up. I said get on my nerves.
But that's
Like, I
to
don't
annoy
like
me.
wear my clothes.
You can
That's getting on
annoy
my
me and I can
It's
still
okay.
want to kiss you.
Put her on
So,
that.
You know
so
what
to
I'm
bring
saying?
it back,
Right.
so to bring it back is when it's easy.
When it's easy to me.
Cool.
When you can annoy me and I still want to kiss you, like, you know what I'm saying? You on my nerves, I'm like, what you want to eat with your ugly ass? Right. You gonna still get the cuddles.
He's coming.
You know what I'm saying? I just ain't. Nah, I'm a Gemini. I'm a Gemini man. So yeah, I have anger. I have anger issues, but I'm the nice nigga. I promise you, if a motherfucker treat me right, I'm good, man.
That's why you tip like that.
What's that?
You tip.
I'm tip.
Cause people give you good service, nigga be like, yeah.
Oh yeah, I do tip
Like,
good.
yeah, I left for $200. Nigga, we had 4 drinks.
I tip good. I'm a good tipper because I'm naturally. I don't know. It's like I said, it depends on how I feel. I'm very
But
upfront
I
about
see you
that,
get
man.
bad service, you ain't leave a bitch nothing.
I'll leave the bare minimum. I'll leave
You
something.
talk about that
I'll
shit
leave
for 2
something.
clubs.
And we hey, look, before we get out of here, let's toast out. Let's toast out, man. All right, let's get up out of here, man. It's been a great show. I appreciate Nay joining us today. Thank you so much for
Thank you,
pulling up on the
pretty
squad.
girl.
Did you enjoy yourself?
I did.
You did. It was easier than you thought, huh?
Yes,
Yeah,
it
we about
was.
fast.
It was.
I'm a cousin, huh?
Here we go, man. We in the game. Hey, y'all remember y'all date who y'all want. Don't let the world tell you what to do. Never above you, never below you. We always by your side in the cut live. We out of here, baby.
All right.
Good
Go
job,
find y'all daddies.
We out.